Hello, Dr. Joe here. So you love your coffee. I know that. But did you know that there are 6 groups of medications that you shouldn't be mixing with your coffee? That is to say, you shouldn't be taking these medications around the same time that you consume your coffee. What are these medications? And why is that? Let's jump right in.
Okay, so medications not to mix with coffee. We got 6 group of medications to talk about. Let's move on to group number 1, and that will be thyroid medications. So example of a thyroid medication would be levothyroxine, goes by the brand name Synthroid. This medication is used for treating underactive thyroid, which is hypothyroidism. And what is the problem here? Well, it is that coffee reduces the absorption of levothyroxine from the gut by as much as 50%. So that 50% reduction in absorption is a serious issue because you're going to end up with fluctuating levels of thyroxine, usually suboptimal levels, actually. So not ideal at all. So the advice would be to wait at least an hour after taking your thyroxine before you drink your coffee. So that is group number 1. Let's move on to group number 2 of medications you don't want to take with coffee, and that would be cold and allergy medications. Example would be Sudafed, with the active ingredient pseudoephedrine, which is a nasal decongestant. So what is the problem here? Well, it's because pseudoephedrine is actually a stimulant. And as you know, caffeine is also a stimulant. The caffeine in your coffee is a stimulant. Now, always remember that caffeine is actually a drug. It is a drug because it's got, psychoactive mode of action. And the problem here is that, pseudoephedrine does have side effects along the lines of jitteriness, restlessness, palpitations where you feel your heart pounding, anxiety, and coffee, or caffeine, I should say, has these side effects as well. So when you have this synergy of activity, synergy of action between the pseudoephedrine and the caffeine in the coffee, then of course these side effects are going to be exaggerated, and that is the problem. Now, that's not all. With diabetics, research also tells us that when diabetics use pseudoephedrine and caffeine together, they end up with higher blood sugar levels and also a rise in body temperature. So caution is needed if you're a diabetic. Do not consume your pseudoephedrine with your coffee. So that is group number 2. Let's move on to group number 3 of medications that you don't want to consume with your coffee. And that will be antidepressants. Examples will be Lexapro, which is escitalopram, and fluoxetine, which goes by the brand name Prozac. And what's the problem here? Well, the problem is that coffee forms a complex with Lexapro, making absorption of the medication suboptimal. And that means you're not going to get, the real optimal levels of the medication in the blood, and you end up not getting the desired outcome. So that's not all. Some other antidepressants are also metabolized by an enzyme in the liver called CYP1A2. This enzyme metabolizes these antidepressants as well as caffeine. So caffeine and the antidepressants will be vying for dominance for the CYP1A2 to metabolize them. So with this competition in mind, what's the end result of that? Well, higher blood levels of the medication and also longer duration of action. So you're going to have a longer half-life of the antidepressants. So not ideal at all. Let's move on to group number 4 of medications that you don't want to consume with coffee, and that will be asthma medications. Examples will be Ventolin inhaler, theophylline as well. And these medications, they open up your airway so you can breathe better as an asthmatic. And they have the side effects of restlessness, irritability, palpitations, and tremors. And of course, these are also side effects of caffeine. Always remember, caffeine is a drug. And so you're going to have the synergy of action here, just like as with pseudoephedrine. So the side effects are going to be exaggerated. These side effects that I talked about, they're going to be exaggerated when you consume your caffeine along with your asthma medications. So that's group number 4. Let's move on to group number 5 of medications you don't want to mix with coffee, and that will be blood thinners. So warfarin being an example. What's the problem here? Well, caffeine actually interferes with warfarin's metabolism, which means you're going to end up with higher blood levels of the warfarin. And the net outcome of that is you could potentially bleed more than if you just had your warfarin on its own. So not ideal as well. Next, we move on to group number 6 of medications that you don't want to take along with your coffee, and that would be osteoporosis medications. Examples would be alendronic acid, alendronate, as well as risedronate. These medications are prescribed for osteoporosis to improve the bone density of the individual. So what's the problem here? Well, it's a binding effect. These medications bind with caffeine in the gut, which means less absorption. And then, of course, you end up not having the desired outcome, which will be an increase in bone density. So also not ideal.
By the way, if you don't have a copy of my book yet, well, the book you're seeing right on your screen now is that very book. It is the second edition of this very book. It is about how you can manage your high blood pressure with lifestyle approach. This is the second edition of this very book. Links to get a book right below this very video. So do let me know if you're someone who is a coffee addict. Just say yes, I'm a coffee addict. And if you're someone who doesn't take coffee, also do let me know in the comment section too. Hopefully you got some value from this very video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please like the video, and also please share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues. Comments, questions down below. That's it for this video. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.